for our next story, let's move to Alaska. Remnants of a powerful typhoon unleashed flood fury in western Alaska last week. The catastrophic flooding swept away several homes and displaced hundreds of people. The Alaskan villagers are now grappling with the aftermath of the massive flooding, and the scale of destruction has slowed down recovery efforts. Our next report brings you all the details.
Remnants of Typhoon Halong have wreaked havoc in western Alaska. The powerful typhoon barreled through the region last week, bringing hurricane-force winds and catastrophic flooding to coastal communities. The scale of destruction in the region has been stark. The devastating floods swept away homes, some with people inside, and displaced nearly 1,500 people. At least one person was killed, and 2 remain missing.
Well, yesterday was the brunt of the storm. Yesterday morning, the wind started. A little bit of rain, but as the tide rose, the wind got stronger, and we all knew about it. We were all notified. It was a voluntary evacuation. Yeah, you're looking at what the storm took away yesterday afternoon and yesterday evening. All these tree roots were under sand and dirt at the time before the storm.
Earlier this week, in one of the most significant airlifts in Alaska history, rescuers moved hundreds of people from coastal villages ravaged by high surf and strong winds from the remnants of Typhoon Halong. The hardest-hit communities were Kipnuk and Kwigillingok. In the 2 low-lying communities, water levels soared more than 6 feet above the highest normal tide, engulfing homes and forcing residents to flee. According to the emergency management officials, some of the homes destroyed by flooding cannot be reoccupied, even with emergency repairs, and others may not be livable by winter. As the floods triggered by the powerful typhoon wreaked havoc, makeshift shelters were quickly established and swelled to about 1,500 people. This is an extraordinary number in a sparsely populated region where communities are reachable by air or water. For the rescuers, the logistical challenge remains immense because of the remoteness and the scale of the destruction in the region. Earlier this week, about 300 evacuees were flown over 500 miles to Anchorage, finding temporary shelter at the Alaska Airlines Center. Shelter space closer to their homes in Bethel has already reached capacity. Emergency officials are now scrambling to find additional housing, aiming to move people from crowded shelters into hotels or dormitories as winter approaches, bringing with it rain, snow, and freezing temperatures. The crisis unfolding in southwest Alaska has also brought renewed attention to the Trump administration's cuts to grants aimed at helping small, mostly indigenous villages prepare for storms or mitigate disaster risks. Critics have argued that these funding cuts have left these vulnerable communities even more exposed. Environmental groups point to the Trump administration's termination of a $20 million Environmental Protection Agency grant to Kipnuk. The grant was intended to protect the village's boardwalk and riverbanks from erosion. Reportedly, there was limited work on the project before the grant was ended. While no single project could have prevented this flood, many believe essential infrastructure improvements could have mitigated the disaster's impact. As the arduous process of recovery begins, the people of southwest Alaska face an uncertain future, grappling with the immediate aftermath and the long-term challenges of rebuilding their lives in the face of a changing climate.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all 3 just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.